Welcome to today's 5 Good Minutes, considering the season of Advent with Kurt Bjorklund.
Advent is about hope and peace and joy and love and living with anticipation as we approach Christmas. I wonder sometimes, however, if our anticipation is muted by the fact that we often tend to think of God and our relationship with God much more in terms of the fact that we are accepted by God if we keep certain conditions. And as a result, our hope is more like our hope for earthly goods, where we say, I hope this comes true. I hope that it is a white Christmas, or I hope that, my brother can make it in for Christmas, or whatever it is. In Romans 5:1 and 2, we're told this. It says, therefore, since we have been justified by faith, we have peace with God through our Lord Jesus Christ. Through him, we have also obtained access by faith into this grace in which we now stand. And we rejoice in hope of the glory of God. So rejoicing in the hope because we have access to God through faith into this grace. And we have this because we have peace with God through our Lord Jesus Christ. And we have this because we've been justified. So these things build justification, peace, then access, and then we have this rejoicing that all come together and are part of this rejoicing in hope because something is different. Jerry Bridges wrote something years ago. Here's what he said. He said, my observation of Christendom is that most of us tend to base our relationship with God on our performance instead of on his grace. In other words, we don't think that we stand in grace. We think we stand on merit. If we performed well, Bridges continues, whatever well is in our opinion, then we expect God to bless us. If we haven't done so well, our expectations are reduced accordingly. In this sense, we live by works rather than by grace. We're saved by grace, but we're living by the sweat of our own performance. Moreover, we are always challenging ourselves and one another to try harder. We seem to believe success in the Christian life, however it is we define success, is basically up to us. Our commitment, our discipline, and our zeal with some help from God along the way. We give lip service to the attitude of the Apostle Paul, who says in 1 Corinthians 15:10, by the grace of God I am what I am. But our unspoken motto is this, and that is, God helps those who help themselves. You see, hope, if it's based on our merit, isn't godly, biblical hope. It's not the hope of Christmas, it's the hope of performance. And the freedom that comes when we understand the gospel message of Jesus Christ, and that the approval that God has for us has nothing to do with our merit, our performance, is what ultimately gives us joy, gives us hope, gives us a standing that is based on something that we say, this is something that I can live in with hope. And as we think about Christmas and the arrival of Jesus Christ, certainly hope is a grand concept of saying there's hope in a world that feels dark, but there's also a hope that is rooted fully and completely in a knowledge that says this is not based on the standing that I have earned, but this is a standing in grace. And justification is a word that means to be declared right. So just let me read and paraphrase these verses again. Therefore, since we've been justified by faith, we have this peace with God through our Lord Jesus Christ. So having been declared right because of faith, not because of our works, we have a peace with God where there's no hostility. Through our Lord Jesus Christ, and through him we've obtained access by faith into this grace, which is where we get our standing, our status, and we rejoice in hope to the glory of God. This is a reason for genuine hope.
Thanks for joining us here today. There's a lot of great content to explore on Orchard Hill Plus and on the Orchard Hill main feed from the weekend. Have a great day.